I'm a simple man. I see a movie starring Nicolas Cage, and I see a silly yet adventurous fun plot. I go see it. What can I say? Simplicity. So Renfield is a brand new film directed by Chris McKay, who also directed the Lego Batman movie. The film stars Nicolas Cage, Nicholas Hoult, Ben Schwartz, and Awkwafina. The movie is about a man named Renfield who was a servant to Count Dracula. After years of serving Dracula under his reign of torment, Renfield is ready to move on and live a life outside of the shadow of the Prince of Darkness. Now, what I am about to say should not come across as a surprise to really anybody. But Nicolas Cage was hands down the biggest highlight of this entire movie. He was charming, he was witty, he was charismatic, his comedic timing was on point, and there were even a few times where he was actually intimidating and a little bit scary. And I appreciate the studio for allowing Nicolas Cage to run free and be wild with this character of Dracula. And I really admire this interpretation of Dracula. It's kind of silly and goofy, but with that Nicolas Cage charm and flavor to it, you gotta admire and appreciate that. I really enjoyed Nicholas Hoult as Renfield. Now, when I first saw the trailer for this movie, I didn't really know how I was going to feel about Renfield as a character, but after watching it, I actually grew to appreciate Renfield. And I also think Nicholas Hoult did a really great job at showing that fear and that intimidation he gets when he's in the presence of Count Dracula. Now, Renfield is not the greatest protagonist in the world, but he is a character that I think is likable enough to the point in which you're rooting for him. I enjoyed the humor in this movie more than I originally anticipated. There were a couple of moments in which I had genuine belly laughs, and so did everyone else in the auditorium. Now, like every movie that has comedy, not every single joke is going to land. However, in this movie, at least to me, most of it did. So props to them on that, for making the humor actually work. I appreciate this movie for sticking to the 90-minute runtime, because I felt that if this movie was anything longer than an hour and 30 minutes, it kind of would have felt that it was dragging on for a little bit. The movie maybe could have been 5 minutes long, but I think having it at a span of 90 minutes exactly worked perfectly. Also, in the beginning of the movie, there is a scene where there is a usage of practical effects, and it looked amazing. Anytime I get the chance to compliment practical effects in a movie, I'm going to call it out. And in here, it was great. Hot take, but personally, I prefer practical effects over CGI. That's just me. But speaking of CGI, we have to talk about the CGI blood in this movie. Now, I should have said this earlier, but there are action scenes in this movie, and I can't lie, it's pretty damn awesome. But the problem is that when the action is going on screen, there is like spouts of blood coming out, obviously, but it just looks so cartoonish and so unrealistic. It literally looked like straight tomato paste. My thing is this, if you're going to use blood in your movies, at least make it look real. This just looked like, I can't even explain it. It just looked bad. And it kind of deteriorated the action sequences in a way. Not completely, but that CGI blood just looked bad. I'm sorry. It just did. Also, Dracula's blood is kind of a plot convenience. Now, this is not pertaining to CGI, but to give you context, Dracula's blood has the ability to heal. And I noticed that no matter what the severity of the casualty is, I guess his blood can heal anyone. And it's like, if someone has their guts spilled out, for example, they can just be healed just like that. Okay, that's kind of a MacGuffin, but sure. But guys, in the end, Renfield, it's a pretty fun time at the movie theaters. I cannot lie. Now, I know that some people are going to feel rather indifferent about this film. Some folks may like it. Some folks may not like it. Some folks may think it's just okay. And that's perfectly fine. But for me, it's just such a silly yet amazing entertaining time at the theaters. I was entertained. The people in my theater were entertained. It's just a simple, dumb, fun movie. You can't really hate on something like that, or can you? So plugging Renfield into the rank system, I'm going to place this movie in the pass zone. It's a chaotic and ludicrous movie, but I just admire that so much. It just increased my love for simple popcorn, turn your brain off type films, and that's what this is. But yeah, that's pretty much my review for Renfield. Let me know down in the comment section below what you guys thought of Renfield. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Matter of fact, what's your favorite Nicolas Cage movie? Let me know down in the comment section below, and I will see you all in the next one.
After working up the nerve, almost equal in size, I walked around with the iron for any wrinkle in time. I paid a piece of my mind for every nickel and dime, but never less than a 5 and never slept on a job. A killer crept on your squad, yet never left the garage. When your God was close enough to see the flesh of his eyes. Get to the button and press, it's what the message advised. What's the threat. Behind the vest is where the testament lies.